From the far-out free-lovin' 60s to the groovin' disco of the 70s, even the big hair 80s, 1240 The Brew plays only classic hits. 1240 KOKL, Okmulgee, Oklahoma.
SJ, welcome to Mvskoke Radio, your weekly source for tribal and community news, interesting guests and discussions, plus a local events calendar.
Good morning. This is Darren DeLaune. Welcome to Mvskoke Radio. Of course, I'm giving Gary Fife the day off today. Well, technically not a day off. I think he's over at the office still just chilling out. But, he's been doing this a while, man. To get these shows going, man, you got to call people. Luckily for me, I had a couple that fell in my lap, a couple interviews. So I told him I would... I had some coming up, and he just said, why don't you just take it over? So it's a much-needed break for Gary, so I just wanted to give him some time off. But first off, I want to talk to my technical producer today. How you doing today, Brooksy? Got him going quick.
I'm good. I wasn't ready for that.
No.
I'm good, sir. Thank you for asking.
You're welcome. I was wanting to ask you, there's a couple little things I saw on Facebook, or Facebook Live yesterday, some singing things going on.
Oh, you saw that, too.
Yeah, I saw that, and it's pretty... I'm very impressed, very, very impressed. I mean, so I just had to ask, man, and I'm pretty sure, I always knew you in this background, being in the radio, but I never knew about a singing background or playing the guitar. I mean, it's very, very impressive, Brooksy. How long have you been doing that?
Firstly, you're easily impressed, and thank you. Gosh, man, I've been singing for forever. I used to, love country music when I was in high school. I'd sing in my pickup and yada, 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 whatever. Well, I picked up a guitar in college, learned to play to a Merle Haggard book, and I wouldn't go to class. I'd go out in the country and play guitar.
Man.
I went to school at Connors down the road here. So, but anyway, I just started picking up the banjo back in my 20s. I used to play in a banjo in a bluegrass band, and singing and all that kind of stuff, singing in church. And then I worked into more of the guitar, and I was a worship leader for a bunch of years. And I traveled with professional bull riders, singing, doing some stuff in a ministry kind of position. And then I've done some stuff with my son Cody in Tulsa. We played couple of gigs around town, did some Broken Arrow Farmers Market and whatever. So sometimes I'll sit on the back patio and throw something out there on Facebook, and that's what you were saying.
I'm glad you did, man, because I really did like that, really did enjoy it. So I really just had to ask about it. And of course, it comes to my mind right when we air. So I couldn't ask before, so it was best to ask now. Right. Let our audience know about it too. So I think it was pretty cool. I hope maybe someday we can get you to do that up here.
Yeah, I got a CD I actually made somewhere around here back in the day. I produced a CD back in about 2005. It's kind of a worship type music. So,
okay, awesome. God, I'm going to have to listen to it then. So
I'll give you one. I got one in the back.
Do.
Makes a good Frisbee.
Yeah. Thanks again, Brooksy. We're going to go ahead and get started with our shows. A couple of weeks ago, we had a showing at Circle Cinema up there in Tulsa, Oklahoma. They showed the movie called Teyada. Teyada is about a woman that her name is Teyada. And she's Chickasaw, and she did a lot. What she called herself was a storyteller, and she acted out these stories for all these audiences throughout the country, throughout the United States. It's an amazing, amazing movie. It was about an amazing woman. It starred a actress who I watched growing up pretty much. Her name was Corianka Kilcher. She played Teyada. Great, wonderful actress, wonderful person to interview. Well, a couple of weeks ago, I interviewed her and Mackenzie Aston. They played husband and wife in that movie. But one of the things that we were wanting to bring up was, with that movie Teyada, it was controlled. When I mean controlled from the ground up by the Chickasaw Nation. So that was amazing to see that. What they said goes with that movie. You have a lot of those movies nowadays that, especially when movies involving American Indians, that, they kind of like the directors, everybody else kind of have their 2 cents in, and they can change everything up. Well, in this case with the Chickasaw Nation, they had creative control. They did everything, and they made sure what they wanted to go into the movie went into the movie. Well, I spoke with one of the ladies who helped write the movie, helped get the movie ready, and it's pretty much she was pretty much there from day one. Her name was Jeannie Barber, and she worked for, of course, for the Chickasaw Nation, and she was helping with this, with the writing of Teata and research and getting everything ready. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get this interview going with Jeannie Barber from the Chickasaw Nation on the creative control of Teata. Jeannie, can you tell us what your little, I guess, the responsibility you had for the film Teata?
I was the content producer for Teata, but I also serve as the creative development director for the Chickasaw Nation.
Okay. With this film that you had, you know, I guess you were there from the ground up. I know, like you were telling me when I first interviewed you, that Chickasaw Nation really had the the creative control from, you know, like I said, from the ground up. You know, they took care of everything. When did it, like, I guess, get the wheels spinning on wanting to make a film about Teata?
Well, it started several years ago. I know that Governor Anna Tubby, had always wanted to do a project about Teata, and it was his vision to produce a documentary and a full-length motion picture. And we got to the point where we could actually do that, and he wanted to produce a motion picture because he wanted something that would be both educational and entertaining. So I started in 2011 and started doing the research because, you can find a lot of things in books and other places about Teata's performance life, but there wasn't a whole lot that I could find about who she was as a person, what her personality was like. And so that's when we turned to the family, those living nieces and nephews that are family members that agreed to talk to me and be interviewed over the course of a couple of years. And they were wonderful. They were great.
So there was no resistance met at all whenever you approached them about the Chickasaw Nation wanting to make a film about Teata?
Not at all. They were very excited about it. Of course, they're very proud of their aunt and the accomplishments that she achieved, in her life. So, I explained, from the beginning that I really wanted to get a sense of who she was as a person, and so, they were very helpful. And I traveled, as far as Seattle and into Texas and here in Oklahoma, where many of her people live. And everybody everybody met me with open arms, and it was really one of the more, I guess, interesting and rewarding experiences as far as my part in the film, getting to talk to them. But I also we dug into a lot of archives and a lot of museums and found documents at the American Museum of Natural History and the Hayden Planetarium to also find out about her husband. And we found out in the course of doing that that she performed quite a bit there at the museum and also lectured. So there was just a wealth of information that the family gave us as far as photographs and family information, but also we were able to find original information from archives.
Were you able to take down a lot of, notes. I mean, this is like, this is before the time of like, technology that, be able to really record. I mean, I know they had like around that time they had silent films and other types of movies and animation movies, but not really like full length films. So, were you able to get the type of, I guess, mannerisms that Tayada had, like away from her performing from the family?
Yes, they had like home movies of her, in family settings and
Okay.
and just talking to people. But there was also some films that we found at the FDR Presidential Library, which was pretty cool, when she performed for the King and Queen of England.
Mm-hmm.
And then what was one of my most favorite pieces that the family let me have was a radio interview that she did. She performed in the 1930s in a radio program, and so it was nice to hear her voice, and how she spoke, and you get a sense of that from the radio program.
Okay. From taking after that, after you got all that research out of the brewing and growing and getting ready, when did y'all start putting into writing everything out for the film?
Well, I developed the story, and the challenge was to try and condense her expansive life, because she lived almost to her 100th birthday. She was just days short of that.
Mm-hmm.
So we had to figure out how we were going to put this in a 2-hour movie. So we decided to concentrate on her childhood up until about 1935, and that included, her performance at the White House and her Broadway career, and meeting her husband and a lot of what the family was dealing with during Indian Territory days, which we felt was important to show that, this family, who was reasonably well off, was hit hard by allotment and all of what was going on during that time, and the oppression, that assimilation policies were being, placing on Indian people from, say, statehood up to 1935.
Okay.
How the FDR administration, tried to implement changes there.
Let's see. All right, taking it from there, we're talking about, the creative control that you had. I remember at the time when we were speaking, didn't you say y'all found a director that they were with the Screen Actors Guild? Is that correct?
Yes, his name is Nathan Frankowski.
Mm-hmm.
He's out of L.A., and we had to find the right person. We wanted to have complete creative control, and there's not a lot of directors out there that are willing, or producers for that matter, that are willing to allow you to do that. But he loved her story, and he was fascinated with who we are and what we were trying to do, and he embraced it fully. There was a lot of give and take there,
Yeah.
You can write a story, but I'm not a screenwriter, and so between him and I and a lady by the name of Esther Luttrell, who's a wonderful screenwriter, we were able to put together a story that reflected who Tayada was, and also, those things in our culture that make us unique. And so I feel like it was a good combination, and after several months we were able to come up with a screenplay that everybody was happy with.
With you're saying that, I mean, you found that director. Was there other directors that y'all had in mind that just wouldn't give y'all that wouldn't relent like on that creative control, like how the Chickasaw Nation wanted that control? Was there other directors that just would not, just did not want that to happen?
Well, there are a lot of very talented directors out there, and as you know, Hollywood kind of has their own idea of what Native America is about. And so many times it's about homelessness and poverty and drug addiction and that sort of thing. And that just wasn't the story that we wanted to tell. We felt like the type of family that Teyana came from is really, 98% of the Native families out there. So we wanted to tell a true story about a family that dealt with adversity and about a truly extraordinary woman who was able to overcome many, many obstacles placed in her path. And, this particular director, Nathan Frankowski, was very much, wanting to also present that image. So we didn't interview a whole lot of directors, but, because we met him fairly early on, and we were impressed with him and his willingness to present a story that is positive rather than negative about Native people.
So with all that, I wanted to ask, with your lead actress, Corianka Kilcher, who's Quechua, you also have Graham Greene, who's from the First Nations, and I apologize, I'm not sure where Gil Birmingham's from or what tribe he belongs to, but okay. But was there? I know when I was doing one interview, I did an interview with Tabitha Fair, who was the one that helped with the soundtrack of Teyana. Was there any other, actors or actresses that were Chickasaw that were in the film?
The vast majority of the extras that you see in the background,
okay,
they are Chickasaw. We had over 200 extras, and most of them were Chickasaw people. And we had a lot of support. I have to say we had a lot of support from people in the different communities that we shot in. Mm-hmm. People would come out, to casting calls and auditions because we needed all types of folks, especially for the audience scenes in Teyana. And we had a lot of support from, the town of Sulphur. High school students came out from there, from the town of Guthrie, just people, that heard about the film and wanted to come and be a part of it. Also, in Oklahoma City, we also shot in Pauls Valley. I believe we had over 75 different locations that we shot in Oklahoma. Mm-hmm. And a lot of the community came out and showed their support and participated in filming as well.
All right. With the film has already premiered and now is showing in theaters all across the country. My couple more questions, but one question I have is how was the family of Teyana's reaction to the film? What did they give it, their approval to it?
Yes, they did. That was, I think, the scariest premiere for me.
Yeah.
It meant so much that they would like it. I spent so much time with them, and it was a frightening time, but they supported it wholeheartedly, and it wasn't just the film; it was the documentary as well. Rick Thompson, with our multimedia department, he worked on the documentary at the same time. working on the film. And so he met with the families extensively as well. And we showed the documentary and the film at the same time to the family, and they got to see it first. And they just were blown away. They were very, very happy with how we had brought Teata back to life, and there was a lot of tears, and so we were happy that we had captured her to the point that the family was satisfied.
Great, that's great to hear. So I know y'all had a movie a couple years back called Pearl that the Chickasaw Nation helped or had made, and Teata is your second one. What's next for the Chickasaw Nation when it comes to films? Is there anything new coming out for the nation?
Yes, we are in post-production right now with a film called The Chickasaw Rancher. Mm-hmm. It features the life of Montford Johnson, who was a rancher during Indian Territory days, and he built a ranching empire and helped to create many towns in central Oklahoma that are still in existence today because of his ranching operations. So it's more of a Western, and it's got a lot of cattle.
Oh, okay. Oklahoma knows that pretty well.
But it's a different take, we think, on history. Not many people know that Native tribes were very successful in the cattle ranching industry in the early days, of Oklahoma. Mm-hmm. And and I know the Creek Nation especially had very large cattle operations.
Oh, yes. We're told about those quite a bit, and and I guess some still are around too. With when is that? I know you said that was in post-production, the Chickasaw Rancher. So when are we expecting to hear when that movie was going to be released, or when the premiere of that movie will be?
We hope to see a finished film in about a year. That's sort of our timeline. So maybe in about a year, if it all goes well, we'll have a finished film this time next year.
Oh, that's great to hear. Looking forward to seeing that one as well. Like I was looking forward to seeing Teata. Jeannie, I want to thank you for taking time. I know we've been playing tag and everything. I'm trying to get these days down to get this interview. So I want to thank you very much for taking the time out of your busy day to be able to talk with Mvskoke Radio.
Well, it was a pleasure.
This is Darren DeLaune with Mvskoke Radio, and speaking with Jeannie Barber on how the Chickasaw Nation had creative control on the movie Teata. Thank you again, Jeannie.
Thank you.
That was Jeannie Barber with the Chickasaw Nation talking about the creative control they had for the movie Teata. We're going to take a short break, and we're going to be coming back with Sprint Williams and Brian Walls, two employees with the Mvskoke Creek Nation Reintegration Program. So please stay tuned to Mvskoke Radio.
Has created an online survey to get feedback from you about our coverage and operations. Participants will be entered to win artwork from Mvskoke Creek artist Dana Tiger. At the beginning, you will be asked for your name, phone number, and email. The survey consists of 18 questions that are either multiple choice or in a yes or no format. Visit www.mvskokemedia.com to participate. The survey is open November 1st through November 30th. Winners will be announced December 1st.
Welcome back to Mvskoke Radio. This is Darren DeLaune. Like we said, we gave Gary Fife the day off for this episode. I am here with the Mvskoke two employees for the Mvskoke Creek Nation reintegration program. Reintegration program. They help members who are let's say people who were incarcerated or they were in jail for quite some time. And they're helping them to get back, reintegrate back into society. They give them certain tools, education. They're just helping them to get ready. But there's a couple of other things that the reintegration program is doing, and I want to be able to talk to Sprint and Brian and have them tell us a little bit more about it. So, guys, how are y'all doing today?
Doing well, thanks, Darren.
Doing good.
Now, Sprint, Brian, y'all have something new with the reintegration program that's, to me, it sounds like a great thing. It really does. I mean, I really am, it's really fortunate that y'all's having this. Could you tell us a little bit about it, please?
Yeah, sure, Darren. Well, recently we constructed a $6.5 million facility where we're currently at. It has an admin building, plus it also has housing for our clients. So as you mentioned before, our clients are all formerly incarcerated. They're trying to reintegrate, trying to get back to society. And we developed a work crew for them. So basically it's a 5-man work crew, and they go out each day and they try to tackle some of the jobs that kind of fall through the cracks at Creek Nation. So it's basic lawn care, basic construction, maybe a disability ramp here or there. Just if you have an elder or a disabled Creek citizen or a veteran that maybe can't fulfill some of their duties around their house, that's just one of the components we have. But we also help with the city, and we help any department that just would need an extra hand, and we're there to lend that hand. So it's worked out pretty well. We have a foreman who's one of our clients, and then like I said, we have a few members of the work crew there that are on site, and it's really went well so far. It began August 21st.
What got y'all started into doing that, or what I guess got the creative minds going to get that going? I mean, because you can think of a lot of things for what y'all can do and everything, and never like you would think about little jobs like that. But those little jobs do mean a lot. They do carry a lot. Of importance.
Right. Well, yeah, and exactly. And it's just kind of one of those things where our office, for some reason, just gets a ton of calls. A lot of people asking, where can we help out? Can you guys do this? Can you guys do that? We've painted parking lines for the city of Henrietta. We've painted City Hall. There's different things that we've done. Painted the rodeo grounds over the years. And so then we just thought, hey, why can we not? And these guys are paid through employment and training. And so it's one of those things to where we just kind of listened to what the citizens wanted to do, and then just thought, hey, why not? I mean, why not give back? Why not help out the elders, help out people that can't do these things, some of these things, the community centers. And so it was a need that we looked at and we thought we'd fulfill. Plus, it gives our clients an opportunity to get up and go to work every day. They work 8 to 5 Monday through Friday, so it gives them something to look forward to. And that's one of our biggest problems, and one of our biggest barriers is employment. Mm-hmm. And so with this, we're able to give back to them, and we're also able to give back to Mvskoke Creek Nation.
With Mvskoke Creek Nation covers quite a bit of jurisdiction. I mean, we're talking 11 counties. Is that what y'all do? Do y'all go to these 11 counties, or do y'all do y'all like kind of like work, say, Okmulgee County this week, Tulsa County next week, or how is that? How are y'all able to cover that if y'all do cover the 11 counties?
Well, it's kind of based off a priority needs list. If someone calls in, we try to base it off the need, the closeness, but we'll go to all 11 counties. I mean, there's nowhere we won't go. So if someone has an issue that they're trying to get fixed, like a lawn or wheelchair ramp or something, just give us a call, and we'll go wherever they're at. I mean, we're all about giving back.
Now, with a couple of these, to me, with something like that, with like a ramp, it's probably going to take me about 8 months to get that going, to get that fixed. I'm terrible with that, just to let everybody know. But with something like that, I guess they have the skills and everything. I mean, does that like just get done pretty quick, and then can y'all move on to the next job, or is it just, like with cement, you got to wait for it to dry and everything. I mean, so are y'all able to get a couple jobs done in a day, or how is that? How is that taken care of too?
Yeah, that's the goal. We try to complete it at least one in a day, sometimes 2 or 3. It just kind of depends on what we're doing. Like we did a job here in Okmulgee. It took a couple of days, but it was a big job.
Mm-hmm.
He had a lot of brush and stuff he wanted to cut down. Took some chainsaw work, some hauling a bunch of stuff off and things of that nature. But most of the time, we try to get it done in a day. For sure.
It's pretty great to hear. I mean, not only the time frame of that, but also that y'all's willing to do that, because like you said, there's sometimes whenever our departments just can't get to everybody, and this will be a good thing to do, especially, I mean, we're going to say, God forbid, with winter coming up, snowstorms that we have, those tree limbs, man, they do fall, they do hang on power line, they do stuff they do like those things like that can cause a danger. So, I mean, with those, will the reintegration program, their work crew, will they be able to go out to those sites to be able to help or assist the department, or be able to assist these citizens when that time comes?
Right. No, and that's exactly right, and that's what it was designed for, and that's something we look forward to, and we understand that there's a lot of citizens and there's a lot of departments, but most times somebody is really hemmed up on what they can do, and their load is too much, and so that's the reason this was designed and we can aid other departments when we can, and we have done that. We've been at environmental, we've been at GSA, we've been at Force Account, we've been at these different places that needed extra employees to help them out. So on days that we may not have a job that takes too long, we can go help a different department if they just need some labor, and we also want this to turn into some possible full-time employment for our clients. It would be really great to for them to work full-time at Creek Nation somewhere.
Now, with something like this, and like I said, with the place y'all have is a transitional facility, is the former, how do we say that? They're formerly incarcerated. Mm-hmm. Are they immediately put into this work crew, or do they have to work up to a certain level to get on this work crew, or how is that? How are they chosen to be that?
Well, it depends. We only have so many slots on our work crew per se, but we also have different employment opportunities that we utilize through employment and training, such as we have a few that are at the ranch in Henrietta, the Coble Ranch. We have a couple more that are at the Silver Creek Ranch out by Wilson, and then we had one or two that work for Sherlock Holmes. So it just depends. Everybody but two people, and then they have a disability that live in the housing, currently live in the housing, work somewhere. So they do have some sort of employment. They may not be on the work crew, but it's something to where our clients are going to live there from anywhere from 6 to 9 months. So during that time, they have a chance to save their money, and then take it with them, and then whatever venture they choose, when they leave here, they'll have a better understanding of employment wise, and they'll gain some skills, and they'll have some money in their pocket to go do bigger things. Mm-hmm. And so we'll just kind of rotate in the next group. So they may not initially make it to the work crew, but they'll do volunteer things and whatnot until we can kind of see that they're ready for the work crew.
Awesome. Have y'all heard any feedback? Not only from the work crew, like say, thank you for helping me do this. Thank you for trusting me, but also from the people, from the y'all's clients, the citizens, that are getting these jobs done for them that by which it wouldn't happen. Pretty much. It'll probably be further down the road for them to get that done. So, have y'all heard any feedback from maybe the citizens,
yes,
about this?
We got a lot of positive feedback. We, like I told you, the job we did here in Okmulgee took a few days, and the gentleman we did that for, he'd been talking, he'd been trying to get this done for months and was waiting on another department. They're just kind of backed up, and we were able to get in there and knock it out. And he gave everybody on the work crew some traditional Indian blankets just to say thank you.
Wow.
Yeah, and gave us some good feedback, some real positive feedback. And we did a wheelchair ramp in Malika, and while the second day the guys went back, the lady fixed them all dinner, and was real appreciative and thankful. And so we've got a lot of positive feedback. And that's what this is for, is to give these guys, not only are they giving back to the community, but it's a chance for them to get out there and kind of network and let people see that, hey, they're really making an effort to get back into society and do the right things and make good decisions, and they're just good people. Just because they made some bad decisions doesn't mean they're bad people.
That rolls into my next question. Hold on to that thought. I guess you might have y'all met any resistance, on that? With it could be from like the communities, anything like that. Just having the people that of course they made some bad decisions in the past, but they're trying to change now. But are there still some people that maybe set in their ways, like once they're bad, they're always bad, and if they see it like that, have y'all met any resistance to them doing this, to doing the work outside of reintegration program?
Not so much with the work crew. I mean, there still is probably some group of people that haven't bought into completely what we do. I think partly it's just maybe miscommunication or a misunderstanding of what actually reintegration program does. And so, and that's why we would invite anybody to, come down to the program, come down, look at our facility, kind of go over, our scope of services and see what we do. Because a lot of times there's hearsay and there's, oh, well, I think this is going on or this or that. And, we would like to, we would talk with anybody, any citizen or anybody for that matter that would, like to learn more about what reintegration really does. But as far as the work crew goes, we haven't really faced any resistance yet. We've just really just been able to tackle the jobs and we haven't had any negative feedback to this point. So it's worked out really well to this point.
That's great to hear. And of course, reintegration program is always doing good things. I mean, from what we've known, and ever since that, y'all, whenever the program started, y'all been a model program for other departments. And I'm not saying just for in our tribe, but we're talking other tribes, other Department of Justice. Y'all's been that model program. So, good news to hear, great news to hear. And I hope people will understand that y'all are doing good things, and that's what y'all's trying to do. Y'all's trying to reintegrate people who are formerly incarcerated, back into society. Let them know that they are trying to do good things, or otherwise, they'll probably be back in jail, or they'll probably be doing something worse. If anybody's wanting to get in touch with the work crew or try to get something scheduled with the work crew, how would they be able to do that? Who would they need to call at the reintegration program?
Well, our main point of contact, they can call me, Sprint Williams, but our main point of contact will be Brian Walls. But they can call the office, 918-549-2620, and then we can go over the details of what it is they need, or what kind of job they need done. Like I said, myself, I'll either be there or Brian. Brian can be the main point of contact.
Awesome. Great to hear. Again, Sprint, Brian, I want to thank y'all very much for, I know y'all been, it's been probably busy. Y'all say y'all started in August. It's been going like 100 miles an hour since then. Yeah. So I want to thank y'all for taking the time out of the day to be able to come onto the show about this and to let the citizens know. Because you never know, because one of them might be needing this, and luckily they're listening to the show today. So I want to say thank you again, and of course that number is 918-549-2620 to be able to talk to these two about seeing what the work crew can do to be able to help you out. So we are going to take another quick break, and we're going to talk to two people, one from the Department of Health, the other one from the Mvskoke Nation Youth Services, about Bully Prevention Month. So please stay tuned to Mvskoke Radio.
I started doing it when I was 11. I wanted to be just like my big brother. And some of my friends were already doing it. We got hooked fast. I just can't get enough. I'm Jacob, and I'm addicted to playing the drums.
There's lots of stuff that makes it cool to be Native. Doing meth isn't one of them. Find something better to do. Check out ncai.org. A message from the Partnership for a Drug-Free America and the National Congress of American Indians.
Hello, this is Principal Chief James Floyd of the Mvskoke Creek Nation. The excitement of football is in the air, and the nation supports all our local high school football teams and looks forward to all the excitement and action of Friday night. It's our prayer that all the athletes play hard and remain safe this 2017 football season. So from the Mvskoke Creek Nation, go team.
Almost 150 years ago, the Mvskoke Creek Nation established their capital here, and they called the place Okmulgee. Today, Okmulgee is a thriving town of business and tradition with a spirit of community that is alive and well. A community of service for a fellow man. And no entity brings more to the table than the Mvskoke Creek Nation, providing a whole plethora of services for our citizens and our community alike, such as housing assistance, medical attention, food services, and community events. For more information about the Mvskoke Creek Nation, visit our website at www.mcn-nsn.gov. The Mvskoke Creek Nation, your partner for the future. Motto.
Welcome back to Mvskoke Radio. We just spoke with Sprint Williams and Brian Walls with the Mvskoke Creek Nation Reintegration Program, talking about the work crew that they're having going out throughout the Mvskoke Creek Nation jurisdiction and doing jobs for our citizens and for other departments just to give them a help out, give them a hand. So, again, thank you, too, for coming on to the show to help us out. We're going to change courses again. We're going to be, it seems like for every year, the month of October has a lot of prevention or awareness month. We have domestic violence, breast cancer, numerous other ones. And one of them is National Bullying Prevention Month. Bullying, I mean, we've all seen it. Chances are probably we've all gone through it. I know I have growing up, and personally I can't stand it myself, and it was a horrible time, and I'm pretty sure for everybody else it was as well. But we got two people here that are going to be talking about the National Bullying Prevention Month. Rachel Sauerjohn from Youth Services, and also Tyler Stone from the Behavioral Health Services. How are you guys doing?
Pretty well. How about yourself?
Doing okay. So if y'all can, we know, like we said, we know October covers a lot of like prevention and awareness. Mm-hmm. Did y'all feel that bullying or prevention? I mean, was it like something that y'all needed to touch on like immediately, or was this like something that y'all had to build up to right away, or y'all just started like going after it and like trying to like let everybody know about it?
Well, for youth services, we kind of look for all things relating to youth anyway, and so this one is one that it actually comes to our email all the time, and so we kind of knew that it was coming. Every year we try to do just a little bit of like social media outreach. Mm-hmm. I think that that's kind of a lot of places that the bullying is happening anyway, and so a lot of times that's kind of where we focus whenever we're trying to get the word out about it. And so we did know it was coming, and it is something that we plan for, and so we've actually got something coming out in about 18 minutes on our social media and through kind of our text alerts, just talking about what bullying is and how you can stop it. You know,
of course, back when I was in school, back in the late 1900s, bullying, of course, that happened at school. It was at school. Nowadays, bullying, like you said, of course, it can happen at school, happen away from school. But now you're saying it's happening on social media. Mm-hmm. Are there some examples that you can tell our audience that like what they face when it comes to like, I guess, bullying on social media?
You want to go ahead?
Go ahead.
Yeah. So what we've found is that some of the bullying that happens on social media can include posting an embarrassing picture of somebody and spreading out throughout the school. There are some apps that the users are actually anonymous, and when those users go to and use this app, they can start to spread false rumors about other people. They can flat out bully people on these websites or these apps. And because it is anonymous, it is very hard to find out, who's spreading it. But we know that the damage is being done, especially if names are being called out, because that person who is being bullied might read about it on this website or app, and then have to really internalize some of that bullying that's going on. We know that Facebook is another one as well. But Facebook, when you talk to the youth now, Facebook is kind of the quote-unquote old people's app. So they're using more of the when I talk to students about bullying online, it's typically Instagram and Snapchat are the two biggest social media platforms that are being used for cyberbullying.
With those type of social media platforms, Instagram and Snapchat, mm-hmm. I wish, and I know y'all two can't answer for it, but I wish, some of the developers of these apps would think about that, think
right.
about that situation. Like, hey, what are the cons? What could come of this? You know, what could happen? I mean, have y'all and with that being said, have maybe they have they talked about that?
There is, it's interesting that you say that because actually Instagram, I know for sure, I'm not sure about Snapchat, but Instagram has a feature that you can actually report things. So you can report posts or comments or anything like that you see, and you can report it for bullying. And so at that point, then it becomes they investigate either the post or the person and see what's going on there, but then they also reach out to the person that's been bullied. And so then there's a lot actually that they are doing. And Facebook actually has that option too, even though it's not as prevalent that the kids are on there these days.
And I do know that another one that we didn't mention was Twitter, and I know that the CEO of Twitter came out this past week and has said that they are going to do a better job as a company in order to decrease harassment that's going on their platform. So that's a really good thing.
Yeah, that is great to know that they are monitoring it. They are addressing the issue. I mean, a lot of these what I like to call big wigs can just throw it by the wayside, you know? I mean, and that's unfortunate that they do that, but I'm glad that they're taking a stand, that they're doing something about it. Would either one of y'all, would y'all happen to maybe know of any statistics on bullying? If y'all don't, it's okay, but do y'all, would y'all might have any that might cover what National Bullying Prevention Month is covering or showing to the world?
Yeah, so just like kind of in general, among like high school students, about 20% of them are bullied on school property, and 15% are cyberbullied. But it's actually like the middle school students have a much higher rate. In middle school students, 45% are bullied on school property. That's almost like 1 in every 2 kids is being bullied on school property, and then 24% are being cyberbullied. And so those are huge numbers, just like across the board. But even whenever you break it down into smaller things like children with disabilities, they're getting bullied at a higher rate, like 2 or 3 more times more likely to be bullied. LGBT students, they are definitely at a higher risk. 74% report being bullied within the last year. I mean, that's a huge number. But I think that kind of one of the positive statistics that I found was that over half of all bullying is usually stopped or discontinues after a peer intervenes. And so I think that that's a lot of what Bullying Prevention Month is highlighting, is that a peer can make such a huge difference in bullying if just one person is willing to step up and say something about what's going on and reach out to that person or stop the bullying from what they're doing.
You know, that's a good point that you brought up. There was a text alert that I think Youth Services brought out, and there was one about the bullying, and I watched it, and of course it was about the peer. She was seeing it. Finally, she had enough, you know. And like I said, I mean, she just took a stand and wanted to stop it, and that's what people need to. They just need to do it. They just need to take a stand. I mean, because the person that's getting bullied, I mean, that's probably the last person that's going to do it. They're just too scared. They're afraid of the repercussions. A lot of people do not understand that. I mean, they don't want to fight back. They're just worried about it. So we need those peers.
Yeah, definitely.
We need those people that are watching it to stop it. They're the one that they could be the hero for that person.
They definitely can. And that video that you're talking about, that's what it talks about, is that you can be that hero for that person. I mean, all it takes is one person to make a difference.
So tell me, what is the, behavioral health services and also the youth services? What are they doing to help out with this National Bullying Prevention Month? You know, I know y'all brought out about text alerts but what else are y'all doing just to spread the awareness, talk about the prevention?
I'll go ahead and actually talk about something that both of us are actually partnering with right now, and that is a program called Sources of Strength. So Nancy Mason, who is the youth director at Youth Services, her, myself, and another prevention specialist from Creek Nation Behavioral Health went to a training in Denver back in July, and we were learning and being trained on this program called Sources of Strength. And really what this is, kind of in a nutshell, is a wellness program that helps with not only bullying but also suicide prevention, helps with mental health, helps with substance abuse and violence in general. The goal of this program is to train adult advisors and letting them know about ways that they can talk to students and kind of help them. And then what we do is we ask those schools to look for a diverse peer leader group. So we want teachers and we want schools to identify about 10% of their school body, and we want these students to be diverse. And the reason we want them to be diverse is when we get different students from each social clique or social norm, they're able to go out and spread that hope, help, and strength throughout their school instead of just getting students from one different social group. So we ask them, what we do is we're actually doing a training next week. We're doing a regional training Monday at the training center here in Okmulgee. It used to be the old elementary.
Yes.
We're going to train the adult advisors, and then we're actually going to go back to the schools and train the adult advisors and the peer leaders on sources of strength and start teaching them, if you see something, make sure you tell an adult about it. Be there for your friends. We're really wanting to train these peer leaders on standing up for what's right. When they see something, report it to a trusted adult. And the evidence has shown with this program that students actually feel more connected to adult advisors. And we know that when students feel connected to an adult, they're more likely going to report something that's happening, because our students know what's going on way before the adults do. Yes. So when you get the peers involved and you let them know that they have a huge responsibility and they have a lot of potential to create a lot of positive change in their school, then they're usually going to take that on. So,
with these coming out with the National Bullying Prevention, it's not stopping it completely, but the things that they are doing, you are making a dent.
Sure.
And that's one great thing about it. I mean, if it stops one, if one peer steps up and and just helps that person that's being bullied stop, I mean, you're doing something. You're doing something right. That's it's a great thing to hear. And with what I was wanting to ask, are there any with all the prevention, all the awareness that we have this month, they have certain colors?
Mm-hmm.
Is there a color for National Bullying Prevention Month?
There is, and it is orange.
Orange.
I know.
Okay.
I know.
I can deal with that.
I
I can do that. Yeah.
But it's for a good cause.
Yes, it's a great cause.
So actually on October 25th, the Pacers, it's actually a national bullying prevention effort. They're asking everyone to orange out and stand together against bullying. So everyone should wear orange on October 25th. Share your hashtags, UND Day 2017. And actually, if you'll tag Mvskoke Nation Youth Services, we will go ahead and share it on our social media, and we'll make you Insta-famous for standing out and being that amazing peer leader and being the one person that's making a difference.
I'll tell you one thing, I'll do it. I'm definitely going to do it.
There we go.
I hope a lot of people follow what y'all's going to be doing and standing out and wearing orange that day. I believe it's a good thing. And, one thing I was wanting to bring up, and I hope y'all do, and I hope this is like in the framework for maybe next year, like that text alert that y'all showed about with the kids, that little one getting bullied. I would love to see this if y'all could film that, maybe with some kids from the dorm, from the school, maybe from just our Creek kids, being able to do that. And with the youth services, y'all do have a lot of good kids. They're leading the way. They're doing a lot of great things. If you can throw that idea there that way, that's to that'll be greatly appreciated. I would love to see them maybe try and get a commercial going with that. That would be so great.
Hey, we're down. I'm sure that they would definitely be down with it. We got a lot of good Mvskoke youth actors, so.
Exactly. Yes, yeah. I believe so, and a lot of great people as well. If they want to get in touch with either one of y'all to talk about Bullying Prevention Month,
sure.
Who would they need to call, and who would they need to talk to?
Sure. So for me personally, if they want to contact me, I offer bully prevention training to the schools. I will sometimes do a professional development day for the high school, middle school, or elementary teachers. That's about a 1-hour training. They can get in contact with me at 918-758-1910, or they can shoot me an email at Tyler, that's Tyler, .stone, STONE, @creekhealth.org.
What about you, Rachel?
And for me, they can call youth services and anyone there can help them, but I am definitely open. It's 918-549-2557. Also on any of our social media, we're constantly monitoring it. And so if you ever need to reach out, don't feel like talking on the phone, you can definitely shoot us a message on any of our social media. And it's at Mvskoke Youth, and is the traditional spelling of Mvskoke, Mvskoke.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Rachel Sourjohn and Tyler Stone talking about national bullying prevention. Please do not let that go by the wayside. If you see it, please report it. That is it's a very important cause, and a lot of great causes going on this month. This is one of them. So please, if y'all have any questions, please feel free to give them a call. They'll be able to answer it. We're going to go ahead and move on into our announcements, and so we're going to go ahead and get this started. First one, 2017 Hope Conference, November 15th and 16th. Will be at the River Spirit Casino and Convention Center, 8330 Riverside Parkway in Tulsa. Pre-conference training is on November 14th. It is a free conference. You can register at eventbrite.com. Next one we have is the Fall Revival, October 15th to the 18th. Time is 7 p.m. at Belvin Baptist Church at 320 North Mission. I think today is the 18th, so it is the last day. Evangelist Reverend Jordan Parnicher is the one that's doing the revival, so please come in for that last day. Shoot of the Nations, that is a bow shoot. I forgot to bring that up last week. Shoot of the Nations is a bow shoot, October 21st. It is located at the Mike Berryhill Cultural Preservation Area, which is on the west part of the Mvskoke Creek Nation complex. For more information, contact John Brown at 918-759-8283. Next one, Haskell Alumni Association of Oklahoma. It is a reunion at the Tower Hotel in Oklahoma City from October 27th to the 29th. For more information on that one, contact Liz at 918-557-8590. Another one, October is, of course, it is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. They have a lot of things going on. Well, matter of fact, a lot of their events, the last one was yesterday, but that don't mean that the rest of the month they're still recognizing it. So please, if you have any more questions on it, contact Family Violence Prevention Program at 918-732-7979. I believe Tyler, I think Rachel might have something to say on that one, so go ahead, Rachel.
Also, on top of Orange Out Day on October 25th, they also are having a Purple Out Day on October 24th.
Okay, so throw that in there, ladies and gentlemen. October 24th is the Purple Out Day. October 25th is Orange Out. So please go ahead and just get those, find those shirts, find those, get those colors ready to go. So October 24th is purple. October 25th is orange. Next one, native vendors are needed for the Riverwalk Fall Festival, Sunday, October 22nd from 11 to 4. If you would like to be a vendor, please contact Mvskoke Creek Nation Cultural Center and Archives at 918-549-2434. Oh, of course, we got to have the election. The election's going on. Another couple things that they had, the Yardika precinct, they moved to the Ryle Public Schools. That's one big notice. It's not at the community. It's at Ryle Public Schools. 110-535 South 3960 Road in Henrietta. The Dustin precinct also moved to the Dustin Schools at 203 Wisdom in Dustin, Oklahoma. So those are where the precincts will be for November 4th. Also, November 15th, next month, America Recycles Day from beginning Monday, November 14th to the 18th. They'll be having a week-long recycling event. For more information, contact 918-549-2580. And, of course, we got the Council Oak ceremony coming up this weekend from 2 to 5. A lot of things going on with that one. That'll be located in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I think it's near Veterans Park, and I can't remember the address, so please forgive me on that one. But please contact the Tourism and Recreation Department, 918-732-7992. That is about it for our announcements. I want to thank everybody for being on the show today, Reintegration Program, and also Rachel Sourjohn and Tyler Stone with Youth Services and Behavioral Health for coming on and talking about National Bullying Prevention Month. and also Brooks Brewer for telling us about his days being in the music career, and I hope it's still going strong. And from what I saw, it looks like it is. So this is Darren DeLaune with Mvskoke Radio saying have a great day and have a great week.
You've been listening to Mvskoke Radio. Join us again next week for more local, tribal, and community news and updates. But